These are the people of Laurinburg. What's your story?
And I was born in Newport News, Virginia, but I only lived there for about 3 months. My father was working in the shipyard during the war, and we came back to North Carolina, where both of my parents were from, and we moved to Kinston, North Carolina, where I grew up, and eventually left there and went to college at Greensboro College and at East Carolina. My husband and I came to Laurinburg in the late 1960s. We came here with Butler Manufacturing. He was a young engineer when we married and was working with DuPont in the Kinston area. And so we came here to work with Butler. He went from fabric to pre-engineered metal buildings, and we moved to a house out in Scotch Meadows. Actually, we were the 5th house ever built in Scotch Meadows, so our house has been there for almost 47, 48 years. And we raised our children there. When we came to Laurinburg, we had 3 children under the age of 4, and so I had my hands full. And then a few years later, we had a 4th child. So one of the things that I think got my career with the public schools, I worked for almost 30 years with Scotland County Schools, and one of the things that got me started was that I had all these children, and so I organized a countywide parent involvement council. There was a lot of talk at that time about the county commissioners and the money, and that, that's been 50 years ago and it's still going on. But I organized this council because I thought we would have more of an impact if all the parents were involved, instead of one school asking for this and one school asking for that, and it worked. And I sort of became an activist with the schools, and I understand later on that I was told that the school board hired me to get me off their back. And they probably did, because I was at every meeting and I was right there. But that was a good thing, because I remember when Ken Newbold hired me, he said, "Brenda, this is not what you plan to be. My background is music and theater." But he said, "This will be a career for you if you stick with it," and I did for almost 30 years. And he was right. It was a wonderful job as Director of School Community Relations. And that was a time in Scotland County back in the 70s and 80s when we had just so many industries, and I loved that. And that's how I got involved with the Chamber of Commerce. I had a business partnership program for the schools. Every single school in the county had a partnership with a different business, or sometimes they had 2 or 3 businesses, and it was a real partnership in that the schools received benefits from that partnership, but also the students would go and do things for the businesses, like they would draw safety posters to put around the plant and things like that, or go and sing at Christmas. So I loved being a part of that. But I still miss my music and my theater, and so I find myself sort of involved with a group over at Pinehurst, at the hotel and the country club over there. They did a lot of theater, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that for years and enjoyed that so much. And then I found storytelling, and for about 25 years I went to the National Storytelling Festival over in Tennessee, in Jonesboro, Tennessee. And that was another outlet for me when there wasn't a theater around to perform in. I could do storytelling, and I did it for 30 years in the schools. I guess I must have told stories to probably tens of thousands of Scotland County students, and even today, I'll be 73 next month, but even today I run into the grocery store or downtown, and someone will look at me, a middle-aged person, and will say, "Don't I know you? Aren't you the..." And I say storyteller, because they remember the storytellers that came to the schools when they were young. And sometimes they say, "My son or my daughter loves to have you come, and I love to have you come." So it's been a long time of telling stories. And that love of story also sort of segued into what we have now as the Arts Council of Scotland County, because about 10, 12 years ago, I can't remember how long, we began a storytelling festival here. I had been a storyteller for all those years, and my cohort, Jan Schmidt, loved stories, so we began the Storytelling Festival of Carolina, and it eventually became the Storytelling Arts Center of the Southeast, and then today it's the Arts Council of Scotland County. So we bring wonderful storytellers here every year to tell stories to everybody. And then, my music. I direct the choir at St. Mary's Catholic Church. I've done that for years. And for a long time, I had a group of singers that sang barbershop. It's the ladies' barbershop chorus. And we call ourselves the Melancholy Babies. That name came from Dot Coble, who was one of the first members of our chorus. And we sang for 15 years or so, and then we just took a break, and we took a break for a long time. And just recently, in the last year, we've gotten back together again, and we're singing again. And we're singing right here at Scotia. We practice, and we have about 4 or 5 residents at Scotia, and then the rest of the group is from the town at large. Some of the original members of the chorus that sang with us way back when, in the 80s and 90s, and some new ones. So we're just now getting started, and I'm just loving that. But I think Scotland County and Laurinburg has given me the chance to try all kinds of new things, and we've gotten a lot of folks who would just jump on the bandwagon. When I started the community theater, it just took off because everybody was there to help. The same way with the music, and I remember when we back in 2003 when we went for All America City, and we had a group of folks on the stage all dressed in the kilts from Scotland County, and they told their stories. It was in Washington, D.C. It was a beautiful, beautiful presentation, and what fun, and we made it. And the big deal about that is that was the 3rd time Scotland County had been named, or Laurinburg had been named All-America City. To get it 1 time is wonderful. To get it 3 times is phenomenal, and so I think this is a phenomenal community. Everybody works together. We give so much money to the nonprofits that need help. Everybody does. I guess I've served on almost every board in the county. I even served on a boxing club board once, and served, the Red Cross and Habitat for Humanity and United Way. It's just what I can do to help the community, and it means a lot to me to be a part of everything. I want to be right there in the middle of everything. This new Main Street program, I'm so excited about that, and I try to get there and participate in that, because this is my home. It's been a wonderful place to raise children. It's been a wonderful place to try my wings in so many different endeavors, and to have the support and the gratitude of the folks that you do things for. It just it's very special to me. In a large city, I probably couldn't have done that. And we looked at moving to a larger city. All of my children live in big cities, but that's just not what we wanted. Everybody here in town, I just love this community and the people and the spirit that's part of Scotland County, and always has been from the way back when we first got here, and they built the stadium, and they built at the high school, and they built the new hospital, and they did it without any tax money. People just got together and did it. The same thing with right here in Scotia Village where I live. This would never have been here if it hadn't been for some forward-thinking businessmen who had seen a community like this somewhere else and wanted it here in Scotland County. People in Scotland County make things happen. They always have, and I have been just really honored to be a part of all that. I love it, and I think that I would just sort of wilt away if I couldn't be a part of all of this. Volunteering is my life.